Hey, what is up, mortals? It is Melissa here with a new video for you. In this video, we'll dive into Rika Kawai from the Wonder Egg Priority anime. I just wanted to greet you guys by saying, just sit back and relax. You're in for a treat. So let's get started. Out of all the girls in Wonder Egg Priority, Rika is the one who packs the most punch, personality-wise. She's extremely outspoken, high energy, and carefree. It's hard to imagine she could have any sort of sad backstory. Well, we're here to explain who she is and what that sad backstory of hers is. When Rika is initially introduced in episode 3, she appears to be very selfish and callous. She pretends to be injured to get the Aka's attention and immediately heals once she spots Ai. Rika asks her for money to buy more eggs, claiming she left her wallet at home. Ai gives her the money, and the next day Rika is sitting outside of her front door. When Ai goes to visit Nehru at the hospital, Rika tags along. During this visit, the two girls learn that Rika was part of an idol group called All Out Kiss. According to her, the group disbanded because the other members were too ugly. Ai returns home with Rika in tow again. Ai's teacher is at her house but leaves once the girls arrive back. Rika pesters Ai with personal questions and suggests that she won't go to school just to make her teacher worry about her for attention. Ai reveals who she is working to save, and Rika does the same. She says that a former fan of hers committed suicide and she needs her to come back to life because she bought anything that Rika wanted. Rika then states she picks her friends based on their appearances. She also decides to spend the night at Ai's house. We learn that Rika has a more sensitive past when she takes a bath. Ai questions if she has already called her parents. Rika says she doesn't care. Her arm is shown with self-inflicted cuts, and she tells herself she will stop. Ai and Rika go to the same egg world due to falling asleep near each other in real life. According to Aka, the world they went to was influenced by the girl with stronger emotions, which was Rika. The egg people they have to save are two fans of an idol that died, and they died to follow him. Ai and Rika have trouble fighting the Wonder Killer together and are forced to retreat after Rika's arm is injured. While in hiding, Rika reveals more about the person she's working to save. Rika's biggest fan, Chiemi, would attend every event and stand in line for a handshake from her, despite it being extremely expensive. Rika assumed she came from a rich family, but caught Chiemi shoplifting from a store. She realized she stole and sold the items to get money to attend Rika's events. Rika attempted to deter her from shoplifting by telling her that she was fat and wasn't allowed back at any events. Chiemi ended up dying from starving herself. Rika feels responsible for her death and is fighting to bring her back. Now having a better understanding of each other, Ai and Rika fight in tandem to take down the Wonder Killer, but Rika is turned into stone. Ai is forced to fight alone, but with the help of the two egg people, she successfully attacks the enemy. It appears to be taken down, and Rika is freed from her stone form. The enemy gets back up, but is finished off by Ai and Rika fighting together. After the battle, Rika interacts with Chiemi's statue, which feels warmer now. Later, Rika sees Nehru while going to buy more eggs. She tries asking for money, but Nehru shoots her down. They meet Momoe and later become friends with her when she is introduced by Ai. The three girls, Rika, Nehru, and Momoe, eventually visit Ai's home. During the visit, they spend time in her room. Rika wonders about Ai's friend who died and suggests she could have been secretly dating the teacher. She upsets the other girls when she also suggests that he may have gotten Ai's friend pregnant, implying an unwanted pregnancy was the reason for her death. Rika is convinced that Ai knows something but is hiding to cover for him. Her family life is briefly mentioned when she compliments Ai's mother, but doesn't have anything good to say about her own. She later upsets her friends again when she mentions not buying any more eggs or saving people. She suggests that the people they are working to save might not want to be saved, and they should just focus on their friendship. Despite this argument between all of them, they return to buy more eggs from the Akas. After struggling to fight off their next set of Wonder Killers, the girls are presented with a pomander of their own. Rika receives a tortoise that she names Manin. Episode 7 focuses solely on Rika during her birthday. Her relationship with her mother is shown as distant and cold. Rika's mother is passed out next to trash and empty bottles when her daughter gets up to leave. She attempts to give Rika money for her birthday, but it is rejected, saying she wants to know about her father instead. Her mother refuses to reveal anything, and their interaction ends with Rika telling her she reeks of alcohol and pushes her away. Rika meets up with her friends to celebrate her birthday after school. She pulls 5 photographs of multiple men with her mother, elaborating that she doesn't know who her real father is, but it might be one of them. She tells the others about her mother's broken promise to meet her father when she got into middle school. Instead of keeping it, her mother drank and said she didn't know who Rika's father was. She gave her the photos and laughed, saying it was better if she didn't know. Rika is extremely bitter about this. She makes Momoe uncomfortable when she vents about her mother, bringing up everything she does wrong. Nehru and Momoe seem to defend Rika's mom, which enrages Rika, and she storms off. Ai follows her, and they spend time together talking about their rocky relationships with their mothers. Rika expresses her unhappiness at not understanding adults and wanting to see her father. She runs away crying and goes home, where her mother is working at their bar and has multiple patrons inside. Everyone greets her happily, albeit intoxicated, and she walks past them without saying anything. She overhears them talking about her, wondering if she will take over the bar when she gets older. She angrily pulls out a box cutter and attempts to cut herself but hesitates. Her upper arm is seen with multiple scars of past self-harm. She sees Manin, who is concerned about her, and smiles before stopping. She is next seen fighting with Manin to protect an egg person named Shino. Unlike the other people she has saved, Shino is overjoyed and welcomes her Wonder Killer, her teacher, when he approaches them. Rika attacks him, and Shino becomes distressed. She expresses to Rika that her teacher saved her with promises of eternal happiness if she disposed of her parents and herself. Rika doesn't agree, but Shino points out the scars on her arm. She and the teacher attempt to manipulate Rika into joining their cult and being ended by the killer. She is slowly convinced to join them after realizing how exhausted and hurt she is emotionally. The other girls attempt to reach out to Rika, but she ignores them. Before the Wonder Killer attacks her, Manin jumps in front of her and shields her. Rika is brought back to her senses when she realizes Manin is protecting her because he sees her as his mother. Not wanting to be a horrible mother, she fights alongside Manin to defeat the monster. Afterward, Rika makes a vow to keep living. This video is sponsored by NordVPN. Staying safe online is an ever-growing difficulty, and hackers could exploit you. NordVPN allows you to change your IP address, making you harder to track, securing your privacy. In addition to providing you with safe passage through the web, you can also expand the reach of your favorite streaming services. Are you tired of going through 2, 3, or even 4 streaming services to watch your favorite anime? Well, with NordVPN, you can change your country and be able to binge shows like My Hero Academia, Naruto, and many others on your favorite streaming service with just a press of a button. Check out the link in the description to get 72% off when buying for 2 years at $3.29 a month. This deal is for a limited time. And thank you to NordVPN for sponsoring this video. Rika eventually revives Chiemi, and they both express happiness, but the latter disappears shortly after. Rika is overjoyed and wants to celebrate with Manin, but he shoves her out of the way right before a giant wrecking ball lands on him. His shell is cracked and cannot move. An insect-human hybrid creature named Dot appears as the perpetrator. She shows no remorse for ending Manin and taunts Rika by tearing his flesh and offering the meat to her. Rika wets herself out of fear and falls to the ground, traumatized by the event. She later becomes enraged and wants revenge. The Akas refuse her access to the garden, concerned that her unstable mental state will cause her to get killed. The special episode after 12 shows a world where all of the revived characters are alive again, but don't recognize the girls who saved them, due to being from an alternate reality. Rika informs the others that Chiemi doesn't remember who she is. The final time Rika appears in the series, she breaks down crying in front of Ai, saying she misses Manin and Chiemi. After learning that Nehru is an AI, it is implied that Rika wants to end her life again. The show ends on a cliffhanger, so hopefully a season 2 will be made and Rika can get closure. Before looking at her more in depth, let's go over her appearance. Rika is a thin, pale teen who has shoulder-length blonde hair with a pink streak in it. In school, she wears a red vest and a white long-sleeve shirt. She wears a dark skirt and carries a large book bag with her. Outside of school, she dresses in a punk style. She wears a black choker and usually has on a red and black jacket, adorned with a few patches or buttons. She has a black button-up shirt underneath and a black belt on her light blue skinny jeans. Her shoes appear to be black Converse sneakers. As a pop idol, she had a more youthful but still punk look. Her hair was completely pink with a few light blue streaks and was kept in bows with long ponytails that reached her thighs. She had a black choker with white lace and short sleeves on her arms that were the same. Her main outfit was similar to a ballerina's tutu. The torso was black with white lace, and the skirt was layered with pink, purple, lavender, and white material. In the series, she is 14 years old, but turns 15 in episode 7. At a younger age, she was part of an underground idol group called All Out Kiss. Not much is known about her former group, other than the fact that there were 3 other members. During her time as an idol, Rika was very friendly and warm, earning the admiration of a fan named Chiemi, who went to see her for every performance. Rika assumed Chiemi had a lot of money due to her paying to have a handshake and giving her gifts. When she realized Chiemi was shoplifting to fund their meetings, Rika was horrified and wanted to put a stop to it. The solution she came up with was to tell Chiemi off and call her fat, saying she would never be friends with her. Rika hoped this would stop Chiemi from coming to see her and stop shoplifting. Chiemi did stop coming to see Rika, but starved herself, eventually passing from malnutrition. Rika attended the funeral and was in shock at how thin Chiemi was in the casket. She quit the idol group and felt incredibly guilty, resorting to self-harm. Despite saying she didn't care about Chiemi, her actions prove otherwise. When she meets the other girls, she appears to be extremely carefree, and that gets on Nehru's nerves. She doesn't have a filter and only gives answers when she wants to. Most of her words and actions come off as rude or blunt. Usually her cold words are an attempt by her to use reverse psychology and make other people reconsider their actions. But it doesn't usually work, and it just upsets others. She's very friendly to anyone she meets, however. Her catchphrase when introducing herself is, "I'm Rika Kawai," like kawaii, because I'm so cute. Her veil is lifted after getting close to the others, and she reveals how much she despises her mother, Chiaki. She doesn't believe her mother cares for her and wants nothing to do with her. This is due to her being irresponsible and not being a good role model for Rika. They own a bar with a house attached where Rika lives. Her mother is often seen inebriated and is messy, leaving trash and empty bottles everywhere. When she was younger, Chiaki was involved with many men, but was eventually abandoned by them and became pregnant from one. She realized as Rika grew older that she would eventually leave her as well, and was worried that she would leave sooner if she knew who her father was. To combat her despair, Chiaki turned to the bottle, but it only deteriorated her relationship with Rika. She attempts to be a good mother by letting Rika do whatever she wants, and treats her as a friend, rather than being a parental figure. Not having stability in her life has caused Rika to suffer from depression and low self-esteem. She's desperate to find her father, and breaks down crying a couple of times during the series due to feeling alone. She puts on a front to hide her unhappiness, even if it pushes others away. It is hard for her to open up to others and becomes distressed when her friends don't understand how she feels about her mother, except for I. Despite their differing opinions, she cares deeply for her friends and will do anything to help them. Rika has a lot of self-loathing and almost gives into it, but is brought back by Manen. She adores him and wants to be a good mother to him, something that she never had. She's extremely close to him and often has him out of the pomander in the real world. When Manen is killed, Rika suffers a mental breakdown that puts her in the hospital. In the egg world, she wields a pair of blades in combat. These have the appearance of crooked box cutters, the items she self-harms with. They can be used individually as swords or as boomerangs due to their shape. When she crosses the 2 blades together, they can shield her. Before we end the video, let's have some trivia about Rika. When the group goes bowling together, Rika's name on the game is Rikarin. She's right-handed, and she collects stickers. Her Japanese voice actress, Shuka Sato, voices Yo Watanabe in Love Live Sunshine, and is part of a real idol group called Aqua. Thank you all for indulging yourselves in all this information thus far. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, there are a few more things that I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, if you're in the mood for some great storytelling, We the Celestials has got you covered. Our We the Celestials, My Hero Academia, and Naruto What If channels retell the story of their namesake anime with a twist. Check it out if you're interested. Secondly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details can be found in the description below. Lastly, if you're interested in what we do here at We the Celestials, then I'd like to extend you an invitation to join the team. The only caveat being that we only accept members from 16 years and up to join our crew. You can sign up for whichever category fulfills your interest by joining the recruitment Discord using the link in the description below. We're always looking for members to join us. Well, that's it from us for today's video. So thank you all for watching, and have a great day.